Breaking news tonight, dangerous storms on the move right now, targeting more than 60 million Americans. Tornadoes ripping across neighborhoods, and the threat is far from over. Violent funnel clouds tearing across the central U.S. Drone videos showing home after home destroyed. RVs and campers tossed across lawns, plus blinding snow sparking this massive 75-vehicle pileup. Al Roker standing by tonight with where the storms are headed next. New accusations against now former Congressman Eric Swalwell, a woman speaking through tears alleging he drugged and raped her. Will there be a criminal investigation into her charges? The husband of the American who went missing in the Bahamas speaking out to NBC News. What he told our reporter about whether he'd ever hurt his wife. Heroic takedown of principal caught on camera tackling a school shooting suspect, likely saving so many student lives. How he's now recovering from being shot during that fight. Peace talks restarting, the potential new timeline from President Trump, and our new reporting over the key sticking point holding up negotiations. Investment scam warning, our investigation into a scheme that may be using AI to steal people's life savings, how older Americans are being targeted. Airline mega merger, the United Airlines CEO reportedly floating the possibility of merging with American Airlines. Is it realistic? She was known as Baby Jessica, the focus of America's attention for days after she fell down that well, the new headline she's making almost 40 years later. Plus, bot versus boar, the humanoid robot seen chasing a group of wild animals. And there's good news tonight. An 11-year-old finally getting the forever family he always dreamed of, and the surprise from his fellow classmates, making the moment even sweeter. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. We begin tonight with that severe weather threatening tens of millions across the country, from Texas up to Michigan and beyond. Right now, more than 60 million are facing the potential for torrential downpours, huge hail, and powerful winds, and even life-threatening tornadoes. Like the twisters you see here that tore through Kansas overnight, this new video shows one storm chaser at close range with a massive multi-vortex tornado basically blocking out the sun there. And look at the destruction left behind. Homes torn to shreds, boats stranded on land, and an RV left sitting in a pond. And now the dangerous weather is on the move, with nearly 30 million people from the plains to the Midwest bracing for impacts as early as tomorrow. We'll get to the full forecast with our Al Roker in a moment, but we start tonight with Shaquille Brewster in hard-hit Kansas.
It's coming right at us.
Devastating tornadoes ripping across the heartland, hitting hard in both Iowa
This is crazy.
and Kansas. At least 15 reported tornadoes wreaking a path of destruction across the Midwest.
Pretty obvious funnel on a rotating wall cloud. Getting pretty close to the ground.
In Hillsdale, Kansas, the walls of these homes shredded to pieces. Crews already racing to repair the downed power lines littered across the roads. People left stunned from the damage.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. I used to work here. This is nutty.
In Ottawa, Jeffrey Castleberry says he was in his home with 6 others, including an 18-month-old baby, when the tornado rolled through.
We opened the door to come through to the family room, and the wall just disappeared in front of us.
You saw it?
Yeah, the wall was gone. Yeah, it was there and then it was gone.
Violent storms also hit Wisconsin. Car after car after car smashed by fallen trees. And in Colorado, during an April snowstorm, more than 75 vehicles estimated to be part of this massive highway pileup, shutting down one side of I-70. Back in Kansas, the cleanup is underway, with the daunting task of rebuilding now ahead.
We've been here 11 years, and we lost everything.
You feel for those homeowners there. Shaquille Brewster joins us now live from Ottawa, Kansas. Shaq, we can see how destructive that storm was there. Incredible that the people inside that house survived, including that baby.
Yeah, Tom, they say they were trying to get to their cellar by running through that door into what used to be their family room. That's when they say they realized it was way too late. Instead, huddled around each other with that baby between them as debris just completely was flying around the air. Tom?
Shaquille Brewster live amid all that destruction tonight. Shaq, we thank you. I want to bring in Al Roker tonight. Al, tens of millions are at risk tonight and tomorrow.
That's right. And Tom, we've got activity right now stretching from Oklahoma all the way into Illinois with tornado watches and warnings, severe thunderstorm watches as well, lasting into early tomorrow morning. Now we've got this risk of severe weather from Detroit, Chicago, Des Moines down to Oklahoma City for more tornadoes, strong wind gusts tomorrow from central Pennsylvania into Ohio, 29 million people from Chicago, Des Moines down to Wichita Falls, and record-setting heat through tomorrow from New York to Nashville, and then over the next 5 days all the way back into Quincy, Illinois, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Tom, it's going to be hot and dangerous.
Okay, a busy few days. All right, we thank you for that, Al. Our other big story tonight, more troubling accusations against Congressman Eric Swalwell. A day after he announced his resignation, another woman has come forward alleging Swalwell drugged, choked, and then raped her. Here's Ryan Nobles.
By TSA agents.
Tonight, new accusations against now former Congressman Eric Swalwell from a woman who says he drugged, raped, and choked her.
I lost consciousness, and I thought I died.
Lana Drew says she met the congressman in 2018, and during their third meeting, he assaulted her.
I believe he drugged my drink. I only had one glass of wine. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me.
Drews says she did not go to police at the time, but she recorded the events on her handwritten calendar and told several people close to her. She's now reported the incident to law enforcement. In a new statement, Swalwell's attorney categorically denied every allegation, calling them, quote, false, fabricated, and deeply offensive. After multiple women accused Swalwell of sexual assault or misconduct, the well-known Democrat suspended his campaign to become California's governor. And facing the prospect of a House ethics investigation and potential expulsion, he chose to resign. Those close to Swalwell, like Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego, forced to explain what they knew about his behavior.
When there was rumors going around a couple weeks ago, I did ask him, and he lied to me.
Meanwhile, Capitol Hill leaders are exploring new ways to protect potential victims.
Should more be done to allow that for those potential victims?
I think we're always, there are better ways of ensuring that people in vulnerable situations ought to have access to a way in which they can get recourse and relief, for sure. And if there's a better way to do that, I'm certainly open to it.
And Swalwell was not the only member of Congress to resign today. Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez resigned effective midnight tonight. He, too, was facing an ethics investigation and the possibility of expulsion after having an affair with a staffer, which is a violation of House rules. Tom?
Ryan, we thank you. To the Bahamas tonight, where we are hearing for the first time from Brian Hooker, the man arrested in the disappearance of his wife, Lynette. Just one day after police released him from custody, he sat down with our Jesse Kirsch and said he never harmed his wife. So where is she?
Did police ever explicitly ask you if you hurt your wife? Of course. What did you say to them? I said I've never harmed Lynette, and I never would harm Lynette, and I want to find Lynette.
Tonight, Brian Hooker is a free man.
Sorry, no comments.
Speaking out just hours after Bahamian authorities released him from custody. He faces no charges, but investigators tell us he remains a suspect in the disappearance of his wife, Lynette, who vanished more than a week ago.
Police still look at you as a suspect. Why do you think that is? I think some of it is probably the media attention, which is understandable. The faster they get it out of the way, the more police can come and help search.
Hooker says Lynette fell from their dinghy in unpredictable seas, but his attorney advised him not to discuss the details.
If there's anything you can share about Easter weekend that you remember. I cannot share anything. I don't want to take a chance that anything could interfere with the search. I welcome any attention, anything that helps me further my goal of finding Lynette.
I also asked him about reports he and Lynette have had a volatile relationship.
What do you want people to know about your marriage with Lynette? I want people to know that Lynette is my life, and we have been together almost half my life, and we belong to each other.
Hooker telling me he plans to keep searching for Lynette.
I don't think I've ever been apart from her in 25 years for this long. She wouldn't stop, and I'm not going to stop.
And Jesse, it's been 10 days since his wife Lynette, who is also a mother, has been missing. He says he's going to keep looking for his wife, but what about the official search?
Tom, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force tells me it is looking to suspend its search for Lynette Hooker by Thursday. The reality is they are simply running out of viable places to look. Tom.
Jesse Kirsch with that big interview tonight. We have stunning new video of the heroic moment a school principal took down a suspected school shooter, tackling him and likely saving the lives of many of his students. Emily Aketa tonight with the video and the story.
Tonight, new video of the heart-stopping moments a gunman walks into Pauls Valley High School in Oklahoma. You can see a pistol in hand. But watch what unfolds next. Principal Kirk Moore in the blue shirt emerging from another door and tackling the suspect, identified by police as 20-year-old Victor Hawkins, a former student of the school. Just feet away, you can see a young person slip out during Moore's fast-acting efforts. Authorities say the principal was shot in the chaos, but managed to get the suspect to drop the gun. Another staff member then scrambling to pick it up.
It doesn't surprise me, the actions that he took, but it is amazing at the actions that he took. There's not a doubt in my mind that he saved kids' lives yesterday.
In a statement, Moore said in part, like so many educators around the country, we prepare for these events. I'm grateful that my instincts and training, as well as God's hand, were available to me. The suspect told investigators he was inspired by the Columbine school shooting, according to an affidavit. He now faces numerous charges, including shooting with intent to kill, as the shaken school community is grateful no one was killed, thanks to the heroic actions of their principal. Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
We also have new reporting tonight on those talks between the U.S. and Iran possibly restarting within days. Gabe Gutierrez is at the White House with more.
Tonight, President Trump says more in-person peace talks between the U.S. and Iran could be happening over the next 2 days in Pakistan. A person familiar with the ongoing negotiations tells NBC News the U.S. asked Iran for a 20-year suspension of uranium enrichment. The source says Iran agreed to 3 to 5 years, which President Trump has said is not acceptable, and that there are ongoing discussions over how to move or even dilute the enriched uranium Iran already has.
The president wants to he doesn't want to make like a small deal. He wants to make the grand bargain.
After President Trump ordered a new blockade on Iran's ports to pressure the Iranian regime to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. Central Command now says more than 10,000 service members are enforcing it. A U.S. official tells NBC News during the first 24 hours the U.S. military warned 6 ships to stop and turn around, and they did.
Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way.
Today here in Washington, Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosted the first direct talks between Israel and Lebanon in decades. Wall Street optimistic a broader peace deal is still possible. Stocks soared today, and crude oil fell to $92 a barrel. Tom?
Gabe, we thank you. And when we return in 60 seconds, would you trust this woman with your money? We meet a man who did and lost his life savings, but she may have been AI. Our investigation next. We are back now with a sophisticated investment scam that's costing Americans a staggering $16 billion a year. Vicky Nguyen has a story of a 76-year-old swindled out of his life savings who now wants to warn others.
There we go.
Ron Williams never imagined he'd have to tell his son he lost everything he'd saved up to someone he never met.
At first, I was devastated, and I felt
stupid.
The 76-year-old retired insurance agent from Brooklyn says it started with a random text message from someone calling herself Jenny that turned into friendly banter, with Jenny sending this video and saying she was 33, Christian, and living in Boston.
But it was easy communication. It felt very comfortable.
Jenny soon told Williams she was making a fortune investing and asked him to join her. Within about 6 months, he'd invested $1.6 million. He could see his money growing on the platform. But Williams' son had suspicions. He did a reverse image search on Jenny and found several social media accounts using what appear to be the same videos.
Did you ever ask to meet her in person?
Several times.
There was always an excuse to not meet in person.
Right.
And when Williams wanted to take out his money, some $4 million, Jenny said he'd have to send more money to cover the taxes. That's when alarm bells started going off. Williams' son then made his own AI-generated video of Jenny to show him just how easy it is.
I felt this incredible connection.
Williams accepted he'd been scammed and reported it to police and the FBI.
This is not the work of some super coder. This took me 3 minutes on a site that didn't even charge me money to do it, and that's super scary.
NBC News reached out to Jenny, but she never responded. We have not verified whether the person seen in the videos is real or AI generated.
Things that we would tell our
NYPD financial crimes detective Daniel Alessandrino says AI is supercharging these scams.
Now with AI, they're giving you realistic videos, and it looks like you're really talking to the person.
He says in some cases, the scammers themselves are victims.
They're victims of human trafficking, where they have these compounds and they lure people on job opportunities. They torture them unless they provide by doing these cons.
There is no way out.
22-year-old Arnold from Uganda connected with us through Amnesty International. He asked us not to reveal his full name because he fears for his safety. But Arnold says he paid $2,000 to a job agency that sent him to a scam compound like this one in Cambodia, where he says he was forced to find victims for investment schemes using social media.
You feel their pain. You're also being tortured. You are being beaten.
After about 6 months, Arnold says he was released from the scam compound.
How do we fight this?
Williams' son says he is now using what his family learned to build an app to help people identify scams.
The thing that was the most gut-wrenching was when I asked him what you did it for, and he shared it was because I wanted to leave you something. Like, he's the gift. This is all we want.
Vicki Nguyen, NBC News, New York.
All right, when we return, could a mega merger between two of the country's biggest airlines be about to take off? We'll explain. We're back now with the headline that could affect hundreds of millions of flyers. Will United and American, two of the biggest airlines in the country, merge? Bloomberg and Reuters, citing sources, report that United's CEO floated the idea to President Trump in February. The two airlines combined carry 400 million passengers a year, but antitrust experts are skeptical a merger would be approved. Also tonight, she captivated the country as a toddler. In 1987, she was known as Baby Jessica, the little girl who fell down a well. The nation watched and waited for her eventual rescue. Her name now, Jessica McClure Morales, and she has been charged with assault after allegations of domestic violence. She was released after posting bond. And in Poland, a video captured a humanoid robot chasing away a pack of wild boars in Warsaw. Look at this. The robot, named Edward Warczaki, shouts "Go away" in Polish as the animals flee into the forest. All right. When we come back tonight, inside of a Texas courtroom as a little boy gets adopted, and there to support him, dozens of his classmates. There's good news tonight, and it's next. Finally, there's good news tonight. It was a huge day for a little boy when he officially joined his forever family. But it was made all the more special by the surprise guest who showed up to support him. In this packed Texas courtroom, all eyes were on 11-year-old Alexander as he was about to be adopted by his foster parents.
I'll happily approve this adoption. Great, your name change. Congratulations.
Hugs and tears of joy filled the room. But this was more than just a moving moment for this family.
Tell me real quick why we're here. Tell me what's going on.
We're here to see our classmate get adopted.
You excited?
Yes.
Packed into the courtroom, 45 of his 5th grade classmates from Bell Elementary School, who all came out to surprise him, greeting him with hug after hug after hug. For Alexander, it meant everything.
It was very fun and very emotional, and I had a great time, and I appreciate all my friends coming with me.
Alexander Kane Johnson, who officially changed his name at the ceremony, has been with his mom, Vandria, dad, Tyrone, and 9-year-old sister, Alicia, for 2 years now. They all dressed in matching Western clothes for the special occasion. And this is the message he shared with his new parents.
I love them so much, and I just appreciate them for being my mom and dad.
And we are so happy for the Johnson family. That's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.